In this section, we're going to discuss helper methods. These are methods that help recursive functions. Some recursive solutions are inefficient, especially the Fibonacci, or the recursive solution demands knowledge that a client should not have. As I said in a previous section, we don't want to make the client add or manipulate data for which he is not directly responsible. So we don't want the client to be involved in making our recursive methods efficient. We as programmers have to do that. The palindrome solution that we studied last section creates a new string every time the method is called again. We would create that substring, not including the leftmost and the rightmost characters, each time we created a string. For a huge string, that takes a lot of time, a lot of memory. It would be better to use the original string and instead of using substrings, modify index values for the left and right hand sides that represent the characters we're checking. We would just simply change two integers and pass those integers in the next recursive call. That would save a lot of copying and a lot of memory use. However, this approach means that the first time we call the method, we must supply not only the string that we want to check, but the beginning and ending index values. This is bad form. It demands that the customer, the client code, should supply these values, but we can't expect him to do so, or at least not to do so accurately. To solve this, we create an overloaded method that has the same name as the recursive method, but it only takes the absolute minimum data. In this case, just the string that the client code wants to check. The isPalindrome method that should be the recursive call is then defined to take that string and beginning and ending index. Our helper method will call the recursive method, supplying the string and those two index values. The client doesn't know there's a second method. Here's an example of how we would do that. The top line, if is palindrome phrase, is what the client would write. The client is interested to know, is this a palindrome or not? And this phrase is the string that he cares about. That helper method calls the recursive isPalindrome version. We would define the isPalindrome method to take a string and two integer parameters. That's why they're overloaded. The name is the same, but the parameter list is different. First one has one string, the second one has one string and two integers. Then the isPalindrome with three parameters will begin the process of testing the outermost two characters to see if they're the same. If so, it will do a recursive call and pass not a copy of the string, but a reference to the actual string and adjust the index values start and end. So we won't be making substrings, we'll simply be adjusting index values. And it will call itself recursively until it has discovered the answer.